Hi everyone! How are you all doing? Are you having a nice evening? Seems weird looking outside and it's like really bright and sunny because normally I'm used to it being dark and cold and grey at this time of night, but obviously the clocks have gone back or forward. A minute, spring forward and spring. Yes, yeah, so the clocks have gone forward, and so now it's a lot brighter in the evening. Fall back and fall, spring forward and spring. Yes, I do get confused with the clocks. Um, so yeah, things are much brighter outside, and I suppose we're now heading into, well, we're definitely spring. Before we know it, it'll be summer. We've been doing lots of stuff with flowers out in the garden, and they're all starting to come out, so it's really, really, really pretty. I am kind of waffling a little bit at the start because I know many of you understand that my timings are not always brilliant. And although I say that we start at 7:30, sometimes there are technical difficulties or other issues, and me starting bang on 7:30 is quite a rare event. Hey, Ali! So I'm just waffling for a couple of minutes to give folks a chance to actually come on and join in the fun. But I'm also conscious that some of you watch this on catch up and you really don't want to have like 5-10 minutes of me waffling at the start. So I have got a new kit to show you. I think you're going to like this one. Before I get to the kit, I do just want to talk about a couple of things very quickly. So first of all, I had a fabulous crafts and cocktails class last weekend. We had some new people that came. We had a lot of fun. The next one is going to be the 11th of May. So if that's anything you're interested in, you can sign up for it at my meetup page. I will also put the link on my Facebook page, and I will be sending more emails out as well. So if you're on my mailing list, you'll get some reminders about that soon. So if you fancy making some cards and having a couple of cocktails on a Saturday afternoon, then be sure to sign up for the next Crafts and Cocktails, which will be the 11th of May. Other bits of news, we are still in April, which is our last chance month for the current annual catalogue. There are many items which are now no longer available because they're fully sold out, but there are still some bargains to be had. So I would encourage you to check out the website. Let me know if there's anything you're wanting. I'm actually putting an order in this evening. So if you want to take advantage of cheaper postage, if you can get that information to me before 9 p.m. tonight, I'm happy to piggyback your order in with mine and split the postage costs. The other thing I wanted to remind you of is that with the new catalogue coming out in May, some prices will be going up. So the price of cardstock, for example, the blend pens, there's a few things that are going to be going up in price. So now is a great month to stock up on those essentials, as well as grabbing those last chance bargains before the new catalogue launches in May. Right, that's enough talking. Let's flip round and share the kit with you. And I will still put the lights on, although we're starting to get to that time of year where I don't know how necessary they are. But this kit that I am sharing with you today is the By Your Side kit. So this is the kit for all you cat and dog lovers, for all you pet lovers. I've never opened this one up, so we've not even done an unboxing of this kit before, but we're going to open it up, we're going to have a look at it, and we're going to make one of each of the cards. So there are 8 cards that you make in this kit. There's 2 cards of each of 4 designs, although as I'm looking at it, I think it's more like 2 designs and 4 cards, but you can make each design either cats or dogs. We'll have a look at that as we go. But it comes with a stamp set. Best friends forever, you make my heart happy, I'll always be by your side, and here's to a true friend. And then you've got the paw prints. I believe one of them is meant to be the cat and one of them is meant to be the dog. You get a little bone and a little fish, which is cute. You get a mini ink pad, which is in Old Olive. As usual, I'm not going to use the ink spot. I'm going to use my main ink pad because then I can give the ink spot away as a prize. Or a free gift for those of you who've purchased from me on eBay. You know that I quite often will put in a stamp set and ink spot or various other freebies for my regular customers. Right, what have we got in the pack here? So first of all, the instructions that tell you the different designs. Tells you on the back everything that's in the kit. There's no twine or ribbon in this kit, so you don't need scissors, although I've got them anyway, just in case I want them. What have we got? Let's start opening this up. So there is a clear block, which is always useful if they've provided you with stamps. That's one of the things, these kits are great for absolute beginners because they get you started with a block as well as some stamps and some ink. There's also some really cute embellishments in here. These are gold hearts that have got adhesive backings on them to make them nice and easy to stick down. That's cool. Let's pull everything out of here. As I've said before, you could be on a desert island with one of these kits and end up making the cards. Everything you need is in the box. You've got these 4 shapes here. I don't know if you can see, there's like a stitching event, a stitching effect around the edge. And there's also these little hearts poked out as well. We'll get to that as we make the card. Hey, Harry! Happy morning from the other side of the world. It's always nice when I have some international people joining us. Right. Although I suppose to you, I'm the international one. So, right. I've managed to stick one of these down on a dimensional. So I'm just going to pull that apart carefully so I don't rip anything. There we go. You get a full sheet of dimensionals. It's always handy. And then we've got these pieces. We can see what the colours are. So these are Calypso Coral. And then these are Crumb Cake elements. Again, you've got that stitched effect round there and circles that just pop out. We get 4 of those. Next we've got, these are cute. So these are the decorated envelopes. So you've got 4 with kind of like the crumb cake and 4 with the Calypso Coral. Plain on the other side, but you've got the patterned bit here and a strip along the front. And then the idea is that this part of the envelope you would stamp with one of the paw prints, whether you wanted to do the cat version or the dog version. Now I'm going to need you guys to vote at some point whether I'm going to do cats or dogs. Hey Linda, hey Sandra, thanks for joining. Right, next up we've got the card blanks. So there are 2 different kinds of card blanks in this kit. Again, you've got the crumb cake one with, I'm going to say that, well, it's Old Olive, we know that from the ink pad. The green is indeed Old Olive. And then this crumb cake background and the Cajun Craze strip along there. And then these other ones, which are Old Olive card blanks with, again, the Cajun Craze. And I love this kind of watercolouring effect that's been done for you. So it's going to make these cards really easy to look really impressive. Of course, you would say cats, Harry. I should have known that. Then we've got these printed elements. These are quite cool. They're your basic white banners, but they've got a printed bit along there. We'll see this more as we poke them all out. But you've got 12, which is an interesting number when we're only making 8 cards. But I do like somehow, sometimes they give you extras that you can use afterwards on your own projects. And then here we go. So here are our cats and dogs. We've got 4 sheets here with the 4, so 2 cats and 2 dogs on each sheet. So if you wanted to, you could make all of these cards as cats, or you could do all of them as dogs, or you could do a bit half and half. So getting your vote in early as you'll have to get ready for it. Well, that's another vote in for cats, so Sandra's right up there with you. Let's start off. Start at the very beginning. You know me, I like to follow the instructions. At least the first time round, I like to follow the instructions, see what it is I'm supposed to be doing. So we're going to take one of these Old Olive card blanks, and we take one of these pieces here, and we just pop out these hearts. I'm going to keep them because I'm sure I can use them for something. This is the curse of a crafter. You can't actually throw anything out because those hearts will come in. They'll come in useful for something, won't they? And then we need one of these banner pieces here. And then let's get started. So I'll start with cats, given that that's what the votes seem to be. Linda thinks I should do 2 of each. Well, let's see how we go. We'll do this one in cats, and then we'll do the next one in dogs, and then if we've got enough time, I'll go back and do this one in dogs and the other one in cats. So let's see how it goes. So we're starting off, so this is the cat paw print, which I'm doing in Old Olive. Remember, it does come with an Old Olive ink pad. I'm just using my own ink pad so that I can give the other one away to one of you lovely lot. Just going to test that on my paper first. When we had the crafts and cocktails at the weekend, I was encouraging people to stamp on their grid paper just to check that the stamps were stamping nicely. Sometimes when they are brand new stamps, you need to clean them off first because there can be a little bit of a film, a little residue that's left during the manufacturing process. And you want to make sure that that doesn't end up on your cards. Get nice crisp stampings. There we go. Oh, before I clean off that, let's do, which envelope do these ones go with? The coral type envelope. Let's just stamp the envelope as well. Where did I put the envelope? Here we go. Now, this is interesting. My first instinct was to stamp the envelope this way, but actually, if you think about it, you're going to fold it over. You want to make sure that the stamp is the right way up. Oh no, this is unavailable right now. Oh dear, Sandra. Well, thank you for letting us know, but it's certainly one to put on your wish list for next time. Right, so I have done the envelope. Let's see what happens next. So, foam dimensionals. I'm going to put a foam dimensional on each of the 4 corners of this layered piece. I'm going to move that over there. I do have a tendency to accidentally stick my arm in ink pads and end up covered in ink. Let's put this on the top here, like so. Now it's interesting. When you're layering this piece up, it's not going in the center, it's going slightly up. Because remember, you've got your sentiment to fit on as well. So let's start with cats. Let's start with this cheeky Moggy on the Old Olive pillow. I feel like we should give these all names. What name shall we give this cat? It's a grey poos. I'm saying this one's a he. I don't know why I thought this one's a he. Especially because the cat we used to have, who very sadly died 9 years ago today, or yesterday, was called Cola. And she was definitely a she. And we miss her very much. She lived at my parents' house. And we had her from a kitten. This cat is Ollie. Thank you, Linda, for confirming that. There we go. Let's clean off my stamps. And do the next one. I realise that amongst those of you who are watching tonight, I think you are all cat people. Do I have any dog people in the house? I appreciate some of you might be watching on YouTube. In fact, one of my good friends, Colin, who often watches on YouTube, I know they have a dog. So they're probably more dog people than cat people. So if you are watching, Colin, when I do the dog one, I'll do it for you. I should give a shout out to all the lovely people who do watch either live or on replay that don't always say hello. So I do very much appreciate you, and it's lovely when you watch. I always say hello to the people who say hello because I know they're there, but I know a lot of the others are there as well. So, right, you make my heart happy. See, that's a stamp I can see me using out with this kit. A lot of the time I use the stamp sets that come with the kits just for those cards, but actually you can use them on any cards, and they're great sentiments. Need to make better use of these. Maybe I should stick them all in a folder or on my shelves with my other stamps so that I remember to use them. Okay, couple of foam pads go on the bottom of the sentiment, and then this goes along the bottom here, and it goes right to the edge apparently. That should be higher up as well, but I'll just do it like that for now. And then the gold heart goes on the top. You make my heart happy. There we go. What do you think? Do you like it? Here's the envelope that goes with it, with the cat paw print. You make my heart happy. Oh, big hugs, Harry. So, you make my heart happy. Our furry friends definitely do make us happy while we get to enjoy them in our lives. Right, second card. These are going much quicker than I thought, so we might have time to do each card. Each card is a cat and a dog. So let's pop this out here. So we've got the crumb cake one here. You see, and again, I'll find something to do with that. That's too nice an aperture, too nice an element not to do. Hey Jean, you're not a cat person. You've perfect the timing then, because I've just done a cat one and now this one's going to be a dog one. So it's such a lovely kit, and the fact that you can do it and you've got enough pieces that you can do all of the cards as cats or all of the cards as dogs, I think is perfect. So it's perfect for any pet lover or for those of you who have friends with pets. So as many of you know, we don't actually have any pets ourselves. We both work far too much to be able to give a dog the attention and care that it would need. And while a cat is much more independent, we live right beside a railway line, and I would be terrified of something happening, a cat losing a fight between a train. So pets are not in our lives at present. But I do have lots and lots of friends who have lots of pets, including some of the lovely people on the call tonight, on the live tonight. Right, so this one goes on here like that. Let's clean this off and do the sentiment. The rest can be used on note cards and envelopes, absolutely. In fact, buying a packet of the notelets to go alongside a kit is always a really good idea, because then once you've finished using the cards and elements that come in your kit, you can then carry on creating using the notelets. In fact, in the new catalogue, there's a whole new range coming out which has a whole load of cards, printed cards with envelopes and ephemera pieces, and they're perfect to go alongside the kits. I am looking forward to sharing them with you more. Let's see. I'll always be by your side. The cat that we had, Cola, her mum was a feral cat, was a wild cat outside, and was never really in the house. And Cola, she was never a cat that would jump up on people or would go to people. She kept herself very much to herself. The only exception, my mum used to sometimes say, oh, I'm obviously not well, Cola's come up to keep me company. And if my mum wasn't feeling great, she would know, because she'd be on the sofa or on bed, and our cat would jump up and just curl up beside her. Not on her lap. She wasn't one to curl up on people's laps, but she would just curl up beside you and purr away. And that's how she was taking care of us, taking care of her family. Right, let's line this up. So this one is going centered this time. The previous one was kind of off-centered, but this one is centered. And then I'm going to put that sentiment on there like so. Let's get a couple of these on there. Like that. I'll always be by your side. Hey, Ali, it's very topical. We are all about cats and dogs tonight. So the first card we did was the cat version, and then this one we're doing the doggy version. In fact, this little black dog, I'm not sure what breed he is, but he reminds me of a dog owned by a crafty friend of mine, Sharon. She has a Scotty dog, and that's who this one reminds me of. So, but I don't think she's watching on the live tonight. Okay, more foam dimensionals. You do get plenty of them in the pack. I always have loads of dimensionals left over, so quite happy to use them all up the way they're intended. And this one goes on there like that. Right, there you go. I'll always be by your side. Oh, do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to stamp the envelope, the back of the envelope. So let's go and do that just now. So that one's the dog paw print, isn't it? In fact, we often have my friend Debbie. She often watches as well on mute. And she has multiple dogs and has done a lot of things with them. She's even been to Crufts, which I'm very impressed about. There we go. All the dog training and agility side of things is very impressive. There we go. I'll always be by your side. So, what do we think so far? Do we prefer the cat one, You Make My Heart Happy? Or do we prefer the dog one, I'll always be by your side? Cast your votes, please. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap them over, and we're going to make this card as a dog and this card as a cat. Let's see how that works. I love kits like this where you've got so much variation. Hairy McClary of Donaldson's Dairy. I don't, but I love just the sound of it alone. It's fabulous. Right, we're still on doggy paw prints, and you love them both, Harry. Good. Let's do the doggy paw prints. So we need one up there, and this one I'm going to do it much closer to the corner this time, so that it's really obvious. And the envelope. Remember the envelope, Emma. So let's do. You're a cat person at heart. You do have more cats than dogs, Linda. But we know you love Susie as well. You're allowed to have a preference, but still love the other. It's like I love chocolate, but I still love caramel as well. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. Of course, now I want both chocolate and caramel. Happily, I got some at Easter. I'm still working through my Easter chocolate. My lovely husband got me a solid Easter egg. This thing is put together like a Jenga tower. So it's all these different blocks, 72 blocks of chocolate. And so I will be eating that until Halloween at this rate. All right. Let's put the dimensionals on the back of these. So this one, so remember this is the one, it doesn't go centered, it goes a little bit higher up because you're going to get a sentiment underneath. So let's put that one up there. It is centered left to right, but you want it to be, there's a smaller gap at the top than there is at the bottom. I would say if you look at that gap, it's maybe that gap and half again at the bottom. So we did a cat last time, we're going to do a doggy this time. going to go, isn't he so friendly? Oh, we never did a name for this one. I think it looks like Morag. Linda, you remember Morag, don't you? Sharon's dog. So we came up with a name, so we reckon that the first cat is called Ollie. The second one is definitely Morag. We need to come up with a name for this dog. And it could be a girl or a boy dog. I'm not sure. You guys let me know what you think this dog is named while I stick them down. It's a lovely bloodhound. And actually we were watching a Disney film the other night, and in the titles it came up with lots of other clips from Disney films, and one of them was The Fox and the Hound, which is an old Disney film that I haven't seen for years. But let's see. You make my heart happy. Actually, I'm tempted to do a Best Friends Forever for this one. Fred. There we go. Fred the Bloodhound. Or is it a beagle? That's a good question. What do we think? Bloodhound or beagle? Or maybe it's a crossbreed. I am the first person to admit I am not great at identifying breeds of dog. So I am relying on you, wonderful people on the internet, to help me out on that one. Basset Hound. It should be called Angela then. I tell you what, we have got 4 sheets of these cats and dogs, because in the kit you get enough to do all of the cards as either cats or dogs. So this one will be called Fred, but one of the ones on the other sheet we'll call Angela. And don't worry, we're not going to have to name all 16 of the animals here tonight. I think we'll just settle with the 2 we've already done. On here like this. I'm going to do this sentiment slightly higher up, because according to the instructions that's what I should have done. Do I want it that high up? I'll do this one higher up than the other one, but then I'm going to do them side by side so you can tell me which one you like. Bloodhounds have longer legs, but yeah, how do you tell when they're sitting down? That's the thing. Maybe he does have long legs, but we've got him sitting down. Right, there we go. So we've got Ollie the cat and Fred the dog of indeterminate breed. What do you think about the placement of the sentiment? So on the cat it's much lower, and then on the dog it's a bit higher. They're both nice. I can't decide which one I like best. Oh, and did I do the envelope? Yes. So we've got a cat print for the cat one and a dog print for the dog one. The ears aren't long enough to be a beagle. You see, this is where you're starting to speak a different language to me. I'm not good when it comes with dog breeds, but as I say, I leave it to you experts. Rightio, so we've done 2 dogs now and 1 cat, which means this one needs to be a cat to finish off with. So let's get my cat paw print. At least they both have paws, whether it's a dog or a cat. They're all called paws. Should just pause for thought. Okay, so we get one of these paw prints down in the bottom, and then one here. one here. I do like the colours that they've chosen for this one. I think when you're thinking of animals, they're very outdoorsy for the most part. And so having the greens and the crumb cake and the coral, I think it's a really good fit, really good match. Oh, do you know, I cleaned that before. I should have waited and done the paw print on the back of the envelope. It's fine. It's fine. Let's do that again. There we go. Thanks, Sandra. See you next time. And you too, Harry. Take care. Have a good day. 7 a.m. That sounds gruesome. If I'm seeing 7 a.m, it's because I've been up really late from the night before. Not a fan of early starts, as many of you know. Right, where's our tag? So which sentiment should we do for this one? So we've done make your heart happy. Should we do here's to a true friend? This is going to sound daft. I always think of friends as animals as more dogs than cats. You make my heart happy. I think that's a good one for a cat, because you know I'll always be by your side. Cats are very independent creatures. In fact, I think their legal definition is free spirit. So we do think about dogs more when it comes to loyalty than cats. So let's do this one. You make my heart happy. Many cats make our hearts happy. "5:30 a.m. Oh, that's gruesome, Harry. I hope you at least get to finish at a early hour in the afternoon, like finish at 2 or 3 o'clock or something like that. As opposed to this crazy person who can still sometimes be working at 6, 7, 8 at night. But then I would far rather do the lates than get up early. None of this is new to anybody who watches. Cats choose their owners. I think you're right, Ali. In fact, the one I heard was dogs have owners, cats have staff, which I think is quite appropriate at times. The other thing I've heard say is a dog looks up to you, a cat looks down on you, but a pig treats you like an equal. So, here you go. Let's stick that down. And then our sentiment as well. And then our gold heart, which goes over here. And then our final cat. We need a name for our final kitty cat. So we've got Ollie, Morag, Fred, and who's this one? Playing with a ball of wool. Let's stick this down. Who's good at naming? You like piggies, Linda. I also like piggies, but I like them when they end up in their final state, as of bacon or sausages. Terrible thing to say. There we go. Kitty. There we go. Kitty the kitty cat. And there, one there. So that's the dog version that we did earlier, and then that's the cat version. You make my heart happy with the envelopes. Right, so voting time then. I know we've got some clear cat lovers and some clear dog lovers, but when it comes to the cards, do we have a preference? So between the garden green ones, cat or dog, Or are they both lovely? I think they're both lovely, but do we have a preference between cat and dog? So for Old Olive, let me know if you like the cat's best or the dog's best. And then for Crumb Cake, let me know again, do you like the cat's best or the dog's best? Now, I've used the animals for each of the cards as they've suggested, but actually there would be nothing to stop you swapping them around even further. So you could use this dog on that card, and you could use, I mean, you could swap the cats and the dogs across. They're a decent enough size that they could actually go against anyone. So the cat here, you could have the cat with the ball of wool quite easily over on this one here. Likewise, this dog would go very nicely on the Calypso Coral background there. You think they're both lovely, Jean? They are lovely. I have a lot of friends who have cats and dogs, and I think they would love it if I sent them cards like these. So I might just do that. Might put one of these in the post. Right. Let me just jump back to me to finish. Thank you all very much for joining me this evening for this. So a quick reminder for those, I am putting in my order tonight at 9 o'clock. So if you want to piggyback on it, let me know ASAP what you're after. There's the last chance list, there's the clearance rack, there's the items that are going to be going up in price, like the cardstock and the inks and the pens. So please do get in touch with me really quickly if there's stuff that you want to order. Next week, I'm going to be doing a final rundown of all things retired and sharing with you different card designs and ideas that you can do with some of those last chance items. So don't hang about. These items will go quickly, and if you do want to get them, then let me know ASAP. But yeah, have a fabulous week. Oh, last thing, can't realize I forgot this. I'm going to mention it next week as well, though. Not this weekend, but next weekend is the Crafters Boot Sale in Kilmarnock. There will be loads of bargains. I will be there, as will some of my friends, and I know there's a few other either current or previous Stampin' Up demonstrators who'll be there, so there'll be a lot of Stampin' Up stuff, great bargains. Make sure you come along and check it out and pick up some great goodies, and I shall hopefully see you then. But I will definitely see you next Wednesday, and have a great week. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye.